8:07, it's that time again. Welcome to Island Tea. It's Wednesday, July 2024.
Good morning to everybody.
What's up?
Yes, I am well. How are you? How are you doing this morning?
I'm a little sleepy.
Oh, it's Wednesday, the 17th of July, 2024. We have spent more days in July than we have left in July. We have about 2 weeks left, 14 days in July. And so July started and seems like it's going to end very soon.
Yeah. And wasn't it I'm gonna have to look. Wasn't it July 12th that they were supposed to make the decision about
The MSR?
no, about
What's that?
Vibes Cartel? Wasn't that I told y'all? I know I haven't heard anything yet. I
We'll have
seem
to look back,
recall.
yeah.
Gonna have to look and
We'll
see.
have to look back.
Yeah.
But while we,
But Buju Banton on kind of a similar topic. I actually thought that they had. I thought that they had banned him forever, but
from what?
remember when he came out of jail a few years ago?
Yes.
He couldn't go back, but I had thought it was permanent.
He couldn't go back where?
To the U.S.
Oh, okay.
But he had a concert, I think, 2 days ago or so in New York, like a comeback concert. So that started his tour, which is going to run until November. And apparently sold out tour. I think they said it started in New York. I think they said the capacity of that place was sold out. I think they said it was a 200, a pretty big capacity, but he's going to be touring until November 17th. So
Okay.
I was surprised when I realized it, because for some reason I thought after he went to jail and then they deported him, I thought that I thought it was permanent, but that's good, Yeah, and I seem to recall, but you can go ahead because I seem to recall I had said when I checked the news, it said that July 12th was when we're gonna get. When the Jamaica court was going to decide whether they're going to release him or retry him.
Vice Cartel?
Yeah, but I guess I'll take a look at that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No problem. So
what else on your radar? Go ahead. Yeah.
in some local news, the Hint Smith Miss Caribbean Talented Teen Show that has been held in St. Kitts for a number of years, it is now based on this report, and I make reference to a report that was published by WINNFM, and it was published on July 16th, yesterday, and it says it was a release, and it says the Haynes Smith Youth Club is proud to announce a new era for the esteemed Haynes Smith Miss Caribbean Talented Teen Pageant. So they say that after 41 years, Jamster, of successful events hosted in St. Kitts, the pageant will now be held in different Caribbean countries, starting with the British Virgin Islands for the 22nd edition on Sunday, December 29th, 2024. And it says that this year, 2024, marks a momentous occasion as we host the event on the beautiful island of the British Virgin Islands at the Multi-Sports Complex, Rotown, Tartola, for the very first time.
Actually, when I thought you were going to say they're discontinuing it or something.
No.
You didn't see my face? I was
Yeah.
like, what is he coming with
When
now?
I saw, before I read and I saw it, I said, they're probably going to do a rotation because
That's what you thought?
Based on the critiques, a lot of persons were critical of the hosting of the pageant in St. Kitts owing to the fact that Miss St. Kitts, the St. Kitts contestant, has won numerous times. Some persons have even said that our contestants, have a homegrown advantage, and so over time it has been given criticism from that front. Of course, our contestants, I think, prepare very well. I think that because we have the National Talented Teen Show, we have the high schools doing their own pageants too. You really get the best of the best when they compete, especially over the number of years when you've seen that if you go through the high school and you have competition and you go through the national here in St. Lucia competition, of course, the person who comes out would be one who has gone through the ringer, so to speak.
But be careful what you wish for, because
Well, I never wish for it. I said,
no. It's just a saying to say, well, those people who are complaining about that.
Mm-hmm.
There's the other issue of where I've always heard it said that we tend to be fairer when it comes to judging,
Mm-hmm.
whereas you go to places like Antigua and Anguilla, and more times than not, their girl is gonna win.
If you look,
so there's that, and I mean, Antigua is famous for that.
Antigua, yeah.
Anguilla is famous for that, especially on the Calypso side as well. You know.
And funny you say that, because our contestant, our Miss Sinkits Nevis, based on information, she's supposed to be here tomorrow for an interview. She goes to represent St. Kitts Nevis in the Miss
JC's in Antigua,
and in Antigua. And St. Kitts has won that competition numerous times, but as you say, Antigua and Barbuda has won it very, very often.
Yeah, so I mean,
very often.
So there's gonna be that issue. I guess I could see the logic, but
because
so what would it be based on? So, for example, is BVI the last person that won?
No. You know which country won last year?
Who?
St. Kitts.
Okay. Well, they could have started from next year, but anyway, whatever.
And then there was a 3-year hiatus. So for 3 years, I think because of COVID, there wasn't the pageant. I think the last hosting was 2019 before last year, something like that. So the winner from there, we had the young lady in here in studio, remember, from St. Lucia, and so St. Kitts won it last year. The time before was St. Lucia, but St. Kitts has won that competition in recent time more than any other country, and so I think that is why there has been speculation.
But then it gives rise to the other question. You have to consider the logistical implications. Are the other countries' standards going to be up to ours? Not saying our standards are necessarily the benchmark, right? Our standards, but so in removing one perceived imbalance, you introduce another, because it's our baby. So now, okay, you're saying, well, okay, it's not going to be based in St. Kitts now, it's going to be done on a rotational basis. But then you have the issue of being able to mobilize logistically in the same way you can in St. Kitts in those other how is that going to work?
Well, in this article, it says that this decision comes in response to long-standing requests from the franchise holders and participants for greater transparency and accountability in the judging process. Hosting the pageant across various territories will provide fresh perspectives and ensure impartiality, reflecting practices of international competitions such as the Miss World and Miss Universe pageants. It says here further down, the BVI franchise holder and the Miss Teen BVI committee will diligently orchestrate the local logistics for this groundbreaking event. They will also be responsible for procuring the state-of-the-art production facilities, engaging experienced service providers, and meticulously planning every aspect of the pageant in close collaboration with the Haynes Smith Miss Caribbean Talented Teen Pageant Committee. Our goal is to create a seamless and a memorable experience for contestants, guests, and stakeholders alike.
So here's the other question. So you say it's going to be December 29th, right? So it's basically the same date if it was held during Sugar Mass, right?
Yes.
But that also creates another problem. Who says if we're going to try and hold it in the same slot that we would have had it if it wasn't held in St. Kitts? Who says that those dates will necessarily fly in those other... I mean, granted, it's Christmas time, so possibly people will be looking for additional stuff to do. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, so I was actually thinking. I was thinking, wait, is it going to be during BVS Carnival? But then I remember you said December 29th
Yes.
because you think about it, it could have been held during the carnival, which is coming up, I think, next month or later this month. something
I
like
guess
But-
I mean they would have time if it is that there's no competing force, then the pageant would get persons who love
Hmm.
pageantry. I
Mhm.
think it's a good opportunity. When I look at it, I think it's a good opportunity to build the respective committees in the various countries. I think it gives the countries an opportunity to own piece of the pageant. The fact that they would be hosting the pageant from different times, so you have a piece of it. You feel more committed to it because you too will have your chance. If you look at the debating competition, the LIDC, it is hosted from territory to territory. Granted that even in during that competition, some people would feel that whoever hosts it have the homegrown advantage. Um, Sometimes it plays out, sometimes it doesn't. But you always have that home court advantage whereby you have your homegrown support. You put on more because it's in your country. You feel that extra pride, and so I think it gives other countries and other participants, by extension, the opportunity to get the homegrown advantage, even if it's just
Oh.
once in a while.
At least, I imagine that director would
Mhm.
probably make sure he takes along all his experience, logistician, so to speak, all the
Yes.
people who help to organize and put together the event, and they should be able to do that anywhere, as
Mhm.
long as the respective local franchises
Yes.
are cooperative. I'm
Mhm.
sure they'll be able to pull it off. And in a sense, I could see how they
Mhm.
could save money in some ways too, because
Mm-hmm.
take for example, if you're doing it in Trinidad, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay to have marshals.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
So there's
You don't have to pay to have marshals. What you mean?
well,
in
meaning
terms of
let's
flight
say
and
it's in
stuff like that?
Trinidad. I mean, let's say you want to have him. They would bring
Mhm.
in
Yes.
artists and so you won't have to pay.
You just
Or let's say it's Kess. Kess is in Trinidad, so it's just a
so
matter
you
of
mean in terms of transportation?
yeah,
just
right. You
use
don't
the
have
lower
to fly.
cost,
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
But yeah, so
Because I'm sure you have to pay for the performance.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course, of course.
So it should be interesting. I would just hope that they have reliable, what you call that, pay-per-view, reliable streaming, so you could, persons over here interested in watching can.
One upside, I guess, is that
Mhm.
you realize it frees up that night here for.
Mm.
So now we're gonna have a night that we're gonna have to figure out something to do on that, like an event. Like I've always said that me and our musician we've been talking about it. We were actually talking about it last year.
Yes.
We should have like a bandorama or something, like a
Oh.
clash of the bands, and make it really compelling and irresistible bag wise. Meaning,
Mhm.
so if you
So
have a
let's look
bag,
at December 29th. December 29th is after Juve, because Juve is December 26th.
Mhm.
It's just before road match. No, sorry, not road match. What I want to say is just before the troop, the Grand Parade.
yeah, they have time.
So
They
you
could
have
they
time.
could practice for
It's
that,
like
and
it's
they're still
actually almost in the middle of
yeah,
that.
exactly. So
Mhm.
I always thought like if you get sponsors who put up a nice bag where everybody, whether you place or not, you get a $5,000, but the winner gets say $20,000. Really make it their worth, what their while. Say $20,000,
Okay.
$10,000, and then everybody else after that gets $5,000 or something like that. To really, so even if you go in, let's say you go in and let's say ASAP, you might think, boy, I have no chance of winning, but
So
at least
Ministry of Culture,
Mhm.
Jamsa has this suggestion.
I've
He's
been saying,
giving
I've
it
been told Monarch that. I've told Monarch that many times.
Okay. I was just going to say, he's
Mhm.
given this advice and he has not charged anything for it. You could sit down with him. And
I don't think he's against it. It's
Mhm.
just that it's always the bag, getting the bag.
because
to,
persons would want compensation for,
yeah, and it's the only way you're going to really get.
But then
a
too,
lot
it's
of
a
the-
real busy time for them, because you have to realize, you finish, it's for the band owners and the band players and the band itself to really say whether or not that time would be convenient for them. Yeah.
But I mean, if you like, that's the whole thing. Like I said, if you make the prize money
attractive,
really attractive,
then you'll
they'll be like, hey,
encouraged to participate.
Yeah, because you say, boy.
But how often is the prize money attractive?
It should be attractive every time.
I mean, for other competitions, because then you.
No, because this has been one of the sticking points why this has never really gotten off the ground.
Yes.
Because what happens is
because
a
you
lot
have
of
to
the
remember
bands.
too, we have the soca competition.
Yeah, but that's different.
I know it's different, but it comes under the same umbrella in the terms of of course they have sponsorship from everywhere, but it's still on a whole part of the committee's activities.
Well, some other company could get up and say, okay, this might be a good PR opportunity for us.
So it means going to
imagine getting all the big bands. Imagine you have Grandmasters, Small Acts, New Vibes, Core, Odyssey, blah 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 blah. All of them on the same, and all of them have to play.
Yes.
You know how it is to get that done, and part of the reason is because of the money. The money has never been attractive enough, because one of the things you have to overcome is, I'm gonna say it, guys. Guys, don't lynch me when you see me. Some of them are coward, right? They don't want to go up against each other. So my reasoning is, make the bag good enough that you'll feel like, boy.
Have you ever spoken to any?
I had my ass handed to me by Grandmasters. Let's say if you're New Vibes, I had my ass handed to me, but at least I'm going home with $5,000.
Have you ever spoken to any of the bands in relation to this idea?
Yeah, that's yeah.
And how was the reception?
Well, the people I talked to wanted to be the one to spearhead it. One of the bands wanted to spearhead it. And just because they're spearheading it doesn't mean that it was going to be any kind of bias or anything. Huh?
Yes.
But,
Okay. But in some other news, right? I was looking at...
And because I realized you're about to fall asleep.
No, I wasn't about to fall asleep.
You didn't get your political fix, but go ahead. Okay, go ahead. I'm just teasing. Come on, I'm just playing with you.
I know you're just playing me, but I'm actually going on to the...
folks, he was just dozing off, actually. That video loop, that was a video loop I had up, because he started to doze off, and
Of course not. But it's a perfect segue,
Yeah.
I feel like you set me up, because I was about to talk about the Antigua and Barbuda situation, and it is in the realm of politics. So
yeah, that was pretty interesting. I mean, the floor crossing business.
Yeah, and I actually listened to clips of the swearing-in ceremony aspects of it. I listened to Prime Minister Gaston Brown's speech. I listened to Honorable Anthony Smith's speech. He's the Prime Minister. He's the Minister of Agriculture, and he has also responsibility for the blue economy. And
he's the guy that crossed the floor.
He crossed the floor, so he still sits as an independent, but a member.
Also, he was an independent. So
he was a UPP. He was a part of the United Progressive Party. He contested chairmanship of the party. He was unsuccessful.
Is that by election they had a few months ago?
No.
Okay.
So he contested the chairmanship. There was a leadership race as well, between Pringle and Lewis. You remember we had Pringle some time ago.
Yeah.
Jamal or something? Yeah, Jamal Pringle. So Pringle won his seat in the last election, him and a number of other individuals. Pringle, we had the then leader, Horrell. He resigned. Pringle, being most familiar, was, I would say, the interim leader. He was, however, challenged, or they had the leadership race nevertheless. And so, when they have the leadership race, it's usually it's competitive. What one has to understand too is that at the end of the day, you are competing with members of your party. So it's a very delicate situation, because at the end of the day, you are competing with members in your party, but you have to understand that after the election, internal election, you still ought to unite, because you're still one party. You understand? And so when you go through that process, it has to be taken very delicately. It has to be handled very delicately, because you don't want to cause rifts in your party and then have division. So from what I have gathered, based on what I've read, there seem to have been, as a result of the internal election, some sort of rift. In fact, the article that I read yesterday indicated that him saying that there were lies and other things said about him and stuff like that. I think during the swearing ceremony, it was said that he's now given an opportunity to help his constituents even more.
This is Brown. So let me ask you, why is it that he had some expertise that the Antigua Labour Party wanted to?
I'm not sure of his expertise.
Because and then why is he not? Why is he independent? Why is he not joining the ABLP?
Well, I think that would have been. I think being an independent gives him the opportunity to say that he has not gone to.
That's what I was thinking.
It's ticklish, because at the same time,
it's like you're hedging your bets, sort of.
Yeah, you don't.
It's like, I want to help my country, but I don't have to join.
So
the party.
I
can join the government, but not the party.
I thought about the situation in the sense that when he ran under a UPP umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
He would have had supporters from the UPP who supported him. Sometimes supported him as a result of him being a member of the party.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate supporter of him, supporter of the party when one goes to vote? Because when you're voting, you have a candidate on the ballot for a particular party. He didn't run as an independent. He ran as a member of that party. And so he has to be very careful in terms of when he... So the independent, you are independent now. One has to think about how would that spill over? How would that have...
I was telling the caller, hang on.
How would that in years to come, when there's another election, how would that weigh in? Would he then join the Labour Party as a candidate? But caller, go ahead.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning, Gregory.
Good morning, Jesus' name. Yes, morning.
Gregory, is it a matter that we're discussing?
You realize AZ just pulled a Kanye on you. I'm gonna let you speak, but
tangentially. But first of all, I would like to say yesterday I asked the person, including a businessman, and none of them knew what larceny by servant means.
But okay, did you ask them what larceny meant on its own?
Yeah, Gregory, you think you're smart.
One of them were guessing that it probably referred to some kind of violent action or something like that.
What?
But larceny by servant, no, this for them now.
Okay, but larceny by servant, is a bit of a stretch to ask person what that means.
No, but most people know. I contend most people know what larceny means. So I don't know who he was talking
Gregory, you spoke to what? 2 persons?
And by extrapolation, if you hear
2 persons.
If you hear larceny by servant, you should be able to give a definition within the ballpark.
I think larceny by servant could throw off persons a bit. Because you add the by servant, if you don't know what larceny is, it could throw you off.
But I don't think most people know what larceny
is.
I
think so. I think if you ask persons, Gregory, on its own, ask them about larceny.
Ask them what the article said. The article used the phrase larceny by servant.
Okay, so the article probably is given a direct quote
and gives context.
Yeah,
so how could they not know?
But like we were saying yesterday,
Gregory,
should have been explained somewhere in the body what it actually means.
Okay, so
to the normal man.
Okay, so explanation. as to, and we said they could go into the interpretation section of the legislation when it comes to larceny and give the definition. If it's not there in the interpretation, then of course it will be somewhere there in the legislation what larceny is, and perhaps they could give that definition. Other than that, now Gregory, what else have you to contribute?
Yeah. What I'm going to say, going on tangentially, well, sort of touch on what y'all speaking. Yesterday, Jamster gave an initialism for the politicians them, and I think he is so right, and I think he is appropriate for ours.
Actually, I like that word. I never heard that word, initialism. I like that. GCI is what I said. GCI. GCI. Yeah.
Yes.
Gregory, go ahead. Don't be distracted. Let's go.
No. I let go. Jamster said it again because I wanted to be reminded of the initials.
Okay.
But yes, Jamster, what you said was so correct. Of the politicians them here in Antigua and all over in the Caribbean and the world by extension. And I just wanted to say what you said with that was very, very true. So true. But not only that, this is going to touch on AIDS right now.
You're just going to remind them to come for me now.
Yeah. Somebody who worked in the law system was speaking about the law system here in St. Kitts, and he said it is so full of corruption. It's so full of corruption.
In what way? In what way?
In what way? In deals being made to truck cases and that sort of stuff. And deals being made to get certain judgments and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
The person say corruption is so plentiful in our quote unquote judicial system that they're very much discouraged from working in it. Yeah.
I mean,
so plentiful in it.
I mean, as you have to agree, there's a certain incestuousness. About all the when you say incestuousness involved in the legal fraternity here. How so?
Explain.
Add that to what Gregory said, and you get the picture.
No, I mean,
Jamster, and I've always heard throughout the years of the corruption in our legal system. But when this person who worked in it spoke about it, me ears stood on
it. I get stories too from.
I I would say I don't know.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
He has made
Gregory came and threw a grenade and he's gone now.
I am. I would say there's some aspects that the system could be more efficient, especially at the magistrate court level.
Could be more ethical too.
Greater efficiency. So when it comes to efficiency, I would say that it could be greater efficiency. In terms of corruption, in terms of paying the money, I don't know of that. I can't speak to that. But in terms of there being more efficiency,
I'll leave this right here.
I would say that there could be greater efficiency.
I think I told you this one time. I asked one of my, someone I consider one of my mentors one time. I asked him, I said, why do we have, I was always puzzled why we have so many lawyers here, right? And then, remember you were telling me a few months ago, I think it was, that it turns out we have, per capita, we have one of the highest. Is it the highest or one of the highest?
One of the highest.
Right. So it means that anecdotally I was picking up on the fact that we had way too many lawyers. And I asked him, I said, what do you think accounts for the inordinate amount of lawyers we have around here? And some of them not even, he said, well, and it's like a light bulb came on when he said it, because I couldn't figure it out. Because I'm thinking the nation needs so many other there's so many other professional niches that the nation needs to advance and thrive and prosper, and everybody wants to be a lawyer. So he said everybody wants to get rich quick. That's what he told me.
So that was a lawyer?
No, he wasn't a lawyer.
Because there's this idea of getting rich quick. like any profession.
You don't think
I
it's true?
mean, it depends on who you are, what connections you have.
This is why. This is why.
There will be some lawyers. I mean, if they are well connected, they could do really well. There are others. I don't think it's an instant get rich profession.
I mean, take for example. I will say this. Someone who goes into social work, someone who goes into nursing, I honestly think those people do those things because they genuinely want to help
and
people.
They are lawyers.
I cannot say that for
they are lawyers. Yes,
I cannot say that for lawyers.
Yes. Well, you don't. Well, you don't want to admit that.
Even doctors, I'm not sure about, because to be honest, I'm not sure. Even I'm sure about the nurses and the doctors.
There are many of us as lawyers, we do it because we have a love and a passion for it. I don't think
for the law itself.
Yes.
So it's not about the people; it's just about the law. Or is it about the social aspect of being a lawyer? The kind of the kind of preeminence it has in the hierarchy, in the social hierarchies. That is, and that's it for some people as well. So in a weird way, my mentor was right. Get rich quick.
Let me say, and this goes outside and it far exceeds the profession of law. In all professions, right? People choose their profession, people choose their jobs for various reasons.
And y'all not even smart. We're the entertainment lawyers. So all of y'all want to do the same thing. We're the entertainment lawyers. We're the environmental lawyers. Okay, just for argument's sake.
Jamstar, as I was making the point, persons go into professions for various reasons. So it's not whatever. I think what you need to understand is that we are all humans. We all have different things that motivate us. It doesn't mean that everybody who's in a profession is a certain way.
And don't get nettled, we're just having a discussion.
I'm not
good.
nettled. I'm just making my point. We have someone on the phone.
Go ahead. I like to trouble you.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. How are you?
Good conversation, but
go ahead.
A lawyer don't make you, don't force you in the position to function as a lawyer, because you have doctors who train for so many years to be doctors, and they end up being politicians.
Yes.
And they have not scratched most of the time. Most of the time they spend is being a politician rather than being what they were trained for.
Yes.
You could be a lawyer and end up being maybe a taxi operator. You could be a lawyer and be a policeman.
There are so many persons.
The trade of which you're trained for is not readily available, you have to survive. So having a law degree and passing the bar and so on don't push you in the position, because one could have agricultural science and end up in accounting. You could do something, but you have to do what is necessary for you to survive in this world today. Yeah,
and being a lawyer doesn't mean that you have instant riches. I always say at the end of the day,
at least you want it after 1 week, though.
I don't think so. Maybe
I'm just teasing you.
That's perhaps persons who are young and you're in sixth form, or you're small and you just have this misconception of how things work. Yes.
Yeah, because you could do lots of things being a lawyer. You could be a radio host and be a lawyer. At least one of the credits that will be given to you. You will be able to the law very well. You'll be able to discern it.
Yes.
And you'll be able to steer away from getting in trouble, because the legal ramification that could happen to you based on the things that you say and the things that you can. So those breaks and those guidelines of how to travel. So
correct.
The more you have to your belt, the better qualified you are to speak to these issues and to point the way in those areas. Doesn't mean that you will get rich.
Okay, Lauren's away there. Let me let another caller join. Caller joining. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
You can stay on the line.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Mr. McMahon.
Yes, I want to support Jam Standards. I remember traveling and meeting a very, very well-known legal luminary. He'll, of course, be nameless. he remained nameless, but well respected, well known. And I asked him if the judiciary in the country and the Eastern Caribbean generally is as independent as is touted. And he absolutely refused to answer. And that spoke volumes to me. Obviously, he didn't want to, in his position, he didn't want to say anything derogatory about the judicial system. But it tells me that there's something amiss in our system. It's not that it's any worse than other places, but there does seem to be some kind of old boys network, and that there are things behind, there are hands behind some of the decisions and so on that are made that the ordinary person is not aware of. Okay, how you correct that, I don't know. Probably you have to bring in.
Have you? Let me ask you. Have you ever had a matter at court?
Court, yeah, a long time ago.
A long time ago. You see, because sometimes we speak about situations, and if it is that you have been affected, you felt that something was unjust or unfair, then you could speak from your standpoint.
There was another instance as well, that I remember too with a company, right? But you see, even in my experience, the first experience that I had, showed me the kinds of what can actually happen in the system, where it was a case where I actually pled guilty for being at fault. It was a traffic accident along the Cairn Street area.
Mm-hmm.
And the magistrate actually dismissed the case and said, well, neither of you at that time, traffic could have, you could have parked on one side of the road, just in front of the police station. That's where it happened. So we had to stop, and it was just a matter of mirrors being smashed. But because I was traveling towards the west, and the other person, the taxi driver, was traveling east, I was considered at fault because the traffic. The parking was on the other side to the police station, okay? But the magistrate dismissed the case and said it was a case of neither of you stopped, because both, like I said, both vehicles can travel on both sides. Neither of you stopped, and even though you plead guilty, I'm dismissing the case. So what I'm saying, there's a lot of leeway for your the individual positions.
So you're talking about on the magistrate level, right, Mr. McMahon? On the magistrate level, magistrates are creatures of statute. They have to go based on what the law is. And, I mean, that's a very...
No, that was a case of discretion, I would say. So you're telling me, even though the initial plea was guilty, the magistrate could throw out the case?
That's not magistrate matters. That's a very minor on the grand scheme of things. Minor
but what I'm showing is that it can happen at any level where somebody's
but at the greater the level, Mr. McMahon,
on justice.
No. There are applications that have to be made for certain things, especially on the higher level. There's so many things that have to be taken into consideration. You understand? So the higher it goes, the more complex it goes.
What about the way we appoint?
How do we appoint? Tell me, how do we appoint them? We don't do it like the U.S.
No, we don't do it like the U.S. And maybe that it should be done like the U.S. I don't know.
You think that it should be done by the U.S.? Like,
you mean appointing
the judicial,
the judges or
judicial, whatever it is in St. Lucia, right?
Yes, but Mr. McMahon, are you suggesting that we should appoint judges like it's done in the U.S.?
No, but I mean, we just because we don't do that nonsense where you have to be technically it's like you read a Pamela label to be a judge. That doesn't mean we don't. That doesn't mean we don't have problems. It doesn't mean we don't have problems here as well.
The thing is that in the appointment, although it's done by the judicial, what is it? It's called Azard, the Judicial Review Committee or something in St. Lucia.
The Judicial and Legal Services Committee.
Right. It's done on the advice of, I think, the Public Service Commission is involved and somebody else. Who appoints the Public Service Commission?
No, I don't
so
think.
what I'm saying is they're not as away
I have to.
from the political.
It's not the Public Service Commission. I don't think it's that. But
I think they're involved. No, I think they are
Ira,
involved in
Mr. McMahon,
the very fact that he's being cagey and evasive about this shows that there's a problem.
No, Mr. McMahon is speaking from an outside perspective. I mean, he makes reference of a matter that he had years ago involving a traffic matter and using that experience to really paint the house black. Well, the house at color. Let me say that.
but no, it's not that experience only. What impacted me more, well, like I said, was the conversation with that legal luminary.
But then that's his opinion, Mr. McMahon. At the end of the day, there are different persons with different opinions.
This was somebody intimately involved in the justice system.
Okay, and that's one person intimately involved in the justice system. Jamsa just said this morning that how many lawyers we have in St. Kitts? A lot? Just imagine that's just St. Kitts. And you spoke to one lawyer, and he gave his opinion.
He was more than a lawyer. And that's what I'm saying. There are lots of lawyers in St. Kitts, but all of them are not.
And I'm sure that every person, I'm sure each lawyer that you meet, they're going to have different opinions on something.
But what I'm saying is that this was more than a lawyer. Right? So this was somebody intimately involved in the system. Okay? And so I really, it really struck me when I was speaking to him that this thing can be twisted and turned accordingly. The other thing is the very recently I spoke to someone with a review about the Sinanan case, right? And you had to wonder how could politics intervene in something like that where a DPP, which is supposed to be totally independent and all of that, can be gotten rid of through something as cagey as that. You don't even know how much.
As cagey as what?
Do you know how much the DPP,
Mr. McMahon, why?
There was a non-disclosure agreement. How could you have a non-disclosure agreement with public money?
But Mr. McMahon, why you're speaking, right? And you're speaking, and you have not indicated the reason why the matter came to court in its first place. What was the reason behind that? Because you're speaking.
Cinnamon matter?
Yes.
Well, again on the street, and if
again, you're going on the street.
No, but you see, that's the
have
whole
you
point.
ready? Have you
Have
ready?
the information. If you don't have get the information from the correct sources, people are going to speculate, and there was speculation that it had something to do with the fact that he was about to prosecute a case. I think investigate a case with Van Samery, right? There was that speculation.
But Mr. McMahon,
that's the whole point. If you don't give us the correct information, people are going to speculate.
So wait. Before you go on, please, before you go on, because you're going. There would have had to be grounds for the matter to be brought to court, legitimate grounds. You have not presented what you say the legitimate grounds would be in this matter.
For me to present.
But you are saying you are presenting information, but you don't have all of it.
But what I'm saying is it was the government who should have done that, right? Because they are.
If I can recall, and that's a while ago. I think it was a matter of some age limits, some age determination, whereby I think it was a matter of age, something to do with age and tenure. So I think that is what the issue surrounded. But you are bringing in things that weren't even written on paper as grounds for the matter being even heard.
Written on paper, not that it wasn't written on paper. It's just like the public, it was kept from the public. Like I said, we don't know what kind of money was paid out in whatever final settlement.
You're talking about a non-disclosure settlement at the end of the day. I'm talking about the initiation of the whole process. You are saying that it's corrupt because you said something about he was going to bring matters against somebody, but that is beyond the point. They would have had to have had grounds in the first place, a claim to even bring the matter to court. And what you are saying could not be put on paper as a claim.
But Azard, you're a politician. You can't tell me that
I'm somebody interested in politics, interested in serving.
You can't tell me that politicians don't exert some arm twisting and powers behind the scene. They exercise their powers behind the scene.
But Mr. McMahon, at least when it comes to judgment and it comes to the court, you have to give reasons for your judgment, and those reasons must be clearly given and supported by law. You understand?
Sure.
I don't know what you're saying.
But I'm sure you've heard of loopholes in the law, right?
Mr. McMahon, you are saying loopholes. Bring the loopholes. Present what you are saying are the gaps. Don't just say they are gaps. Also present what the gaps are.
In laws? Are you telling me there are not loopholes in laws?
Wait, let's add a caller.
So
caller, go ahead. The person. Are you still there, Ira? Oh, okay. Well, you can always call.
I only have I actually have to go to court soon, so I have only a few minutes. I wanted to touch on a number of things, but I guess time won't permit me this morning.
Really? Oh my God, what's going on? Okay, well, let's hope they call back.
Yeah, so I wanted to.
But Izzy, honestly, you were you were a little defensive. So let
me not say defensive.
I hope you use that as impetus to change things, because a lot of people because I don't have much time, don't really have a lot of confidence in the legal system, and rightly so.
When it comes to the efficiency of the court, I think there could be,
and especially where it intersects with government and politics. And
I could understand persons talking about the efficiency. You understand? Mr. McMahon just brought matters and making a number of claims without even bringing any facts, so to speak. He's just saying. Yeah, that's his view, and he's fine to have his view. But I don't think you should bring a situation.
No, but a lot of times you don't have to have. When you say bring facts, what do you mean?
For example, he talked about the DPP matter, and I showed the DPP matter. There was a claim that was brought to the court, and it was a legitimate claim.
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Yes, hello.
Hey, what's up?
I'll quickly say this. The person also said, that the corruption also includes, but not limited to, the police as well, where the judicial system is concerned. And not only that, secondly, the person also said that a lot of the new lawyers who are entering the system, they are pressured by the older lawyers not to walk on the right road, but to also be a part of the corruption as well. The new lawyers who are just entering the system. Plus also said they also come under the pressure of the more and older experienced lawyers.
Is this person a lawyer that you're speaking with?
Hello?
Are you speaking to a lawyer?
The person had a law degree and that sort of stuff, but they were not a practicing lawyer, but they were helping a lawyer. And they even now spoke in court. They spoke in court
as what? As a student?
As helping to defend. As helping to defend a client.
You have to. I mean, if you're not called to the bar, it's
the the person was an assistant to a lawyer, and the person did also make the contribution as an assistant to a lawyer in a certain case.
Okay, and you're using that person's opinion to ground.
Well, I'm just saying what the person said. And
Okay.
not only that, but it backs up what I've heard over the years.
Okay. So I thank you for your contribution, Gregory.
Thank you
for
too.
your contribution. So I wanted just to round out the pot before I have to leave is the fact that when you look at the situation in Antigua and Barbuda, you know, and you've seen situations in our Caribbean region, you see more and more persons are not really being loyal to perhaps parties as they once were before. You're seeing a lot of people moving and changing up.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, good morning. Peace to all.
Hey, what's up?
Listen, just want to touch two topics. There are two types of trials. They have a criminal and civil. Criminal are based on beyond reasonable doubt. Civil, the balance of probability. And sometimes before the matter reaches to court, if there's not enough evidence, because sometimes it's not just a matter of, let's say, something went wrong, but if you cannot link the person to the incident, then the case is weak, and therefore certain things will come and go. And with a civil case, person could outside settle the case. But the justice system is supposed to be fair. If you say the persons who are working with it, not all, but some, is a different thing. But to put the system to say is a bad system or whatever, we are actually doing injustice. That means we're living in a, I don't know, unjust system that we have, and therefore justice is not really fair if you put it like that. But the system is set up to be fair. It's a balance, right? You're the lawyer, right, Azard?
Yes. So,
right.
So
that's what that's what we have to first understand. And I could understand what the person is saying, but when, as is trying to point out, if you do not know the facts about something, all you're doing is speculating after all. Because the court system deals with facts. There is a tribunal of facts and a tribunal of law. So therefore, there are two things come inside there. You have to try the facts, and then you still have to bring in the law to make sure the law was break and the law is maintained when investigating and bringing the case before court and even during the trial. And that's where it comes in. But the facts of the case must be presented as fact. Anything that could bring in some kind of doubt inside there, then you have a problem. The second thing when it comes to the politics, you know, politics is a dynamic thing. You just keep going. And sometimes persons might, let's say for the Antigua case, there was a fallout, but then he might have his base as I was trying to point out. But you know what? That's something for them to sort out, and that's something for the gentleman to sort out. But it's not unique to Antigua and Barbuda. This is something globally. And we must understand that politicians were not just born there. They come from you yourself, Jamster. One day you might say, you know what, I want to serve my country at a different level. And sometimes some person make politics or politicians seem to be bad, but it's a noble profession, because what you're doing is trying to help develop your country.
That's a stretch. No, that's a stretch.
I have to step out now, but yes.
So, but before I just want to say one thing.
No, you could continue with Jamstar.
Go ahead. I'm here.
Okay.
He has to leave. Yeah.
Is that because sometimes some persons label all politicians to be that. But that may include you, Jamster, anybody who comes in. But we have to understand these persons trying to give service to their country at a higher level. What will come into play is integrity. You know, some persons have to do, you know what, I'm going into this and make sure do this and do the right thing. That's all. So you cannot put everybody, and sometimes the persons who actually going to do good sometimes get a bad name because of others before them, and they not even get the opportunity to do anything. But
okay.
I'm going to leave it there because enough time is of the essence, and support another person want to call them.
Okay.
But I just want to say one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Our political leader, some persons say they're not hearing from her or even seen her. But today at 5:30 in Kayan, political leader, along with the executive, will be doing a walkthrough in Kayan. And everybody who is interested, who want to have a word or say something to the, just ask a few questions. And even show interest and give her support. I'm just encouraging you to come out and see her in Kayan. We're going to start up Upper Kayan and we're going to end down in Central Kayan. So you could come out and have your views, see her, meet her, greet, And I will be there as well, along with other persons. I think Azard will be there as well. So just come out and give the support. You as well, Jam, so you're invited to come. You might have a few questions to ask. So I just want to leave it there. And just tell everybody, peace be to St. Nevis, God bless St. Nevis.
Okay,
and
great.
However, we just have to make sure we do the right thing and everything will work out right.
Okay, well said. Okay, so 2 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we're going to take a quick break. We have no farm report today, so I'm hoping you guys. Oh, and of course, Kortensia is off today as well. Easy had to take off for court. So I'm alone, but not alone, because I'll continue to take your calls right after these words. All right.
He's got a lot of talent there.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
It's new and only at ICWI, the insurance company of the West Indies. Receive free windscreen cover when you purchase your third-party policy with ICWI. You heard right. Free windscreen cover with your third-party policy for only a limited time. If you're a third-party policy holder, take advantage of this limited time offer and switch to ICWI for added protection. Isn't it time you experience insurance the ICWI way? Conditions apply. Click, call, or visit ICWI today. Visit us at 1C Bird Rock Road. Call 465-8753 or ICWI.com.
Shopping with TDC just got much easier. Here's how. Log on to shoptdcgroup.com. Shop at your convenience at any time, from anywhere, with your smartphone, tablet, or computer. With our safe and secure payment checkout, you choose the option to pick up in-store or have your goods delivered right to your door. It's that easy. Shop tdcgroup.com, your one-stop online store.
Shop anywhere, shop anytime, same quality you love. Now online. Shop
www.shoptdcgroup.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Portsmouth's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equaline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equaline brand of over-the-counter products. Portsmouth Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equaline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Island Tea continues. It's make that 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. I'm all alone, jam struck. Remember, all alone but not alone, because the phone lines are going. So I'm gonna take your calls. Let's go. Call or go right ahead. Island Tea, what's up? Hey, what's up?
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
Concerning the boring segment you had this morning, according to you, I think that should be done not only just with the bands, but with the other elements of what make Carnival in the region. Try to get a show with the best of everything, the best king and queen of the bands, the best.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
That would be a huge.
Yeah, because
and
it would be
case,
it would be a good
comes last,
it would be a good promotion for the troops as well if you have the premier costume attached to one of the bands, even if that's not the band that's going to play. on the actual parade days. But yeah, that's a good idea actually.
And have that at the end of the season of carnivals that we normally have in the summer, in preparation for ours.
But they're clearly gonna have to find something for that day. So I'm wanna hear what Monarch says about what they're gonna do for that day, because that day basically is gonna be freed up until it rotates back to St. Kitts, I guess.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought just occurred to me. With regards to what Mr. Pell said about partition.
So wait. Wait. One thing. I wonder if that means it's gonna rotate to Nevis as well. Probably, right? Yeah. That probably. Yeah. That. Yeah. But I don't know if that is an unfair advantage as well. You think for the country to have two options?
I don't know about unfair, but it is definitely an advantage, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Next point.
The thing with the politician thing, there has to be a reason why people don't trust politicians. I mean, it's not just here; it's everywhere. You know, they're regarded as people who play smart and always trying to outfox and deceptive and all of those bad things. You know, an honest politician is almost like a rarity. You know, you have to maneuver and do all kinds of machinations to be a success in office, and that is bad. Okay, they're going to have that reputation. Similarly, with lawyers, they have a reputation too. You know, these things people don't pluck these things out of the air. It's from your experience with them, right? And then yes, you don't. It's tough to generalize because obviously every politician is not the same, every lawyer is not the same, etc. I'm not saying they aren't good ones, but the the profession itself, you know, has that reputation. You can't deny it, right? It's the world over, pretty much. So, you know, I understand that Azard would protest. He has to defend his profession. And by the way, isn't there? I wonder if there isn't an oath by lawyers, just like there's one by medical doctors. First rule, you do no harm, I think it is in the medical profession. But after that, there are a series of stuff like you don't go talking against other doctors, you know, those ethical things, right?
Yes.
And so they're protective of their profession. And that in itself, I think only they can sanction themselves or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? The associations and so on, they're protective of the profession, and they rely a lot on self-policing and so on.
Okay, wait. Ira, let me take this call. You can always call back. Call or go right ahead. Okay. But, you know, you were just making a point, and I think one of the things is that therein lies part of the problem as well. I'm wondering if they shouldn't be sanctioned and maybe investigated by some kind of independent body. But then, how independent are those bodies really when I have to come back to that word again because of how incestuous the fraternity is, because of necessity the people that are going to be part of that body are going to be people that know the law, and by extension they're going to know all these other people. So yeah, it's problematic. Yeah. Okay, keep the calls coming. I just had a call coming near another person's. Okay, here we go. 911, go right ahead.
Hey, good morning, James. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good morning to all the listeners at home and abroad.
Yeah.
I want to give God thanks for another day. The month is going quickly. Now, I was listening to RJR, which is Jamaica, and they were talking about the destruction of all of the, what I call this, with the frames, them.
Frames?
It's all,
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That they used to produce the goods.
They produce what goods?
I said all of them were destroyed.
What frames? I don't understand. You said frames. What do you mean by that?
Greenhouses.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about this massive destruction of the greenhouses in St. Elizabeth, some other thing. So all of them. So I was wondering to myself if it is possible to disassemble them and store them somewhere before the storm actually arrives.
Yeah, but it makes you wonder. Makes you wonder how practical is that though?
Because we promote them. You're not talking about 1 and 2, you know. Talking about these large numbers and just all wipe out. I suppose with the category 4 you can't stand. So I was wondering what the consortium was thinking. Now, did you hear about the
Wait. The consortium where?
In St. Kitts.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, the minister is promoting a lot of greenhouses, greenhouse village or whatever. Because we have to learn from other people. You know, can they be easily disassembled? What speed of it can they take?
Okay, I want to apologize to the listeners. I'm having some. I just want to apologize to the listeners. I'm having some weird. I'm having some weird problems here with the microphone. It's sounding kind of weird. This is something that happens intermittently, but for some reason, it's a lot worse now. But yeah, you make a good point.
Because I thought about this, I've been promoting a lot of it. Not to mention all the farmers of the bananas. So some of them are salvaging some, trying to salvage some. But you know, Jamaican, they green banana for morning, noon, and night.
Mm-hmm. But the thing you didn't mention, though, I mean, wouldn't it be kind of impractical to take those up every time there's a storm, though? And then what do you do with the crops? Because you have to...
You store them.
Yeah.
I remember they're inside of something, you know. They're the plant basket was inside of them. And you got to start to work out something. Because many people have been wiped out to the point where they have to be giving them food.
And also, I was hearing that, well, I'm actually in a Jamaica chat with, I have some friends in Jamaica, and I'm in a chat, and a lot of them still don't have electricity.
That's true, true.
You know.
Some no water either.
Yeah.
You know, it's very distressing, you know, because I like Jamaica, because I lived here for 2 years. And I've been down in the country.
Okay, Miss Henry, I'm trying to cycle through my calls. Let's take another call. You can always call back. Caller, go right ahead.
Hi, Jamsa, good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Mrs. Henry on the other line?
No, she, I told her I wanted to cycle through more calls, so she can always call back. Anyone can call back at any point.
I thought it could have been. Hi, good morning, Mrs. Henry. Yeah, I heard Mrs. Henry's comment yesterday, and it's right up the area where politicians, not all, and Mrs. Henry's comment pertains to the situation that is unfolding in Kenya. Kenya being a stabilized economy for the longest. They have had Jomo Kenyatta, they had Uhuru Kenyatta, I think he's father ours, you know. And
oh yes.
One or two
I've been looking at that, yeah. Let me ask you a question. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. I'll ask you a question about that afterwards.
Go. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is good to look at the whole bigger picture. And if you would realize that the African nations, the 54 of them, I beg to differ, I think the King Socrates said on his program was 53. 54, because the Sudan, the South Sudan is the Sudan. They have the two Sudans now. As you know, the North is in a fraction, there's a rift now in the North. the Republic of Sudan, I think it is. Anyway, so it's 54 nations now because, but Kenya has been a stable economy for the longest. And Kenya would have had, and I think they're part of the contingencies, the nations that would have signed on whatever agreement they have with the World Bank and the IMF for loans and funding and so on. And we know the World Bank and the IMF, they are like debt traps to nations. You know, they doesn't learn on an equal footing. Bigger nations will get monies from the World Bank and at lower rates and so forth, jamster. And this is where I'm going. So, Mrs. Henry, I want you to find a balanced ground when you really listen to these reports on these medias. Try to find a balanced ground. If you find a report that says this, try to find another report that said that. And stay within the middle. Because if you're going to come and present one side and not the other side, because you see, you have these NGO groups and other groups, other groups like Nestle, these big companies that are there, and they are very influential. Now, here is it in the Caribbean. A lot of people travel to the Caribbean for other things, apart from sun, sea, and sand. Okay? And coming to these vulnerable areas and vulnerable persons, young persons, be they male or female. It happened, like in the Gambia. You see these old women, old Caucasian women, money people, going to the Gambia. And who are they targeting? The 18-year-olds, the 19-year-olds, the 20-year-olds, youth, young men. So it happens on all levels, all spheres of our society. Likewise, you find these old men come to the Caribbean, and who are they targeting? And they are targeting the young 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-old young women, young girls. And so, Mrs. Henry, this is what is happening, because President Ruto was at a summit. He was at a Africa summit within the Africa space, and business persons who really wanted his stake, because he was a young leader. He just got into office, similar to how Mayor Motley, similar to how the Prime Minister of Antigua, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They'll come on the fore and they will have this vigor. And so people will really look upon them for leadership and so forth. With Kenya now, Kenya had, and a lot of the Kenyans, because their population is so large, a lot of the Kenyans, they have these still analog phones, so to speak. Their phone technology, a lot of them, they're moving on. They're transiting into the iPhones and the other phone, like the Samsung, the Galaxy. But they have these phones, and they have come up with a scheme of transacting money payments amongst small business persons in the agriculture department, in other fields of endeavors, and they will make their money transaction that way. And that was something like, wow, that's an innovation, where they're using technology to pay off, their clientele and so forth, and do the trading. And that has caught on. So Kenya was one of those countries that,
No, let me ask you a question.
Hello?
I want to ask you a question. So you think Mr. Kenyatta might run again? Because
because he's not favored. But no, his name is William Ruto.
No, I'm talking about. No, remember Kenyatta was the last. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I was
you
asking.
see what happened, right?
You think he might run again?
It seems as if maybe there was an opposition leader. I'm not remembering his name, but this opposition leader, it seemed like the Prime Minister, the President Kenya, Ruto, was saying to this opposition leader, why won't we kind of set you up? Because within the transition of the African Union, it's coming to where they have to elect a new chairperson. They have a 1-year rotation, a probably 2-year rotation, and they have, because the African Union has 2 aspects. They have like 2 presidents, two chairpersons. You know, one is for the heads of state, the president, and one is for a different body in the African Union.
Okay,
so it seems like
Africa,
they're coming up for election.
Yeah, go.
Hello?
Yeah, you have to make it brief because I have some other calls that I want to field.
Yeah. This is gonna take longer than. I hope you will post the program voices and so we can have a longer conversation.
Okay.
But yes, Mrs. Henry, the bigger picture is where the IMF and all those guys are manipulating the youth.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
All right, great. Let's on to the next. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes, just me again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is one of the reasons why our people don't change, you know. My good friend Africa did not condemn the behavior of the politicians. They make an excuse for them. That is why nothing can change. Imagine you flaunting the wealth that you get because of your position. And we must go to something else. Kenya using this phone to think years now is nothing new. The point is, unless we are willing to face what our people do to our people, we're not going to get anywhere. I understand what you're saying. I will not go in the middle. To go in the middle is to go away from what is wrong. And then we turn around here. We're watching it, you know. Oh, well, the bond between us and the Europeans, them get wealth, so they must get a share too. What he's saying as an excuse don't make no sense. He's my good friend, but it don't make no sense. He has, up to now, he has not condemned what the people are doing. The president, imagine you saying, oh, we're going to impose taxes on you. Police kill people and all kinds of things happen. People protesting. Only for them to be flaunting it in the face of that. We ain't it, could it be right? Africa, you know better. I will not go in the middle of anything that is right and wrong. Wrong is wrong and right is right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, clearly there are a lot of problems on that end. I mean, I don't know much about the ministers involved, but I heard, I know you mentioned yesterday that someone owned a helicopter and all that. I mean, sounds like, unless that person is a billionaire and has like businesses, I feel like if you're just a run-of-the-mill politician, I can argue you're doing too much, but, you know, that's just me. Call, go right ahead.
Yes, good morning, Island T.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Jamsto. Good morning, Azard and Kortensia, super lady. She's in today?
No, she's not.
Oh, she take a vacation. Jamsto.
I didn't say that, but she's not in today.
Oh. So she will drop in at any time. Jamsto.
I didn't say that
we
either.
Want to
But
shine
anyway.
the light down at the Carty home for a gentleman, a big boy down Church Street, meet me and told me he called one of them to deal with it, and I want them to know, if that don't correct, he's gonna be in the media for a lot of years. Because they're gonna tolerate them kind of nonsense from politicians, especially these young boys. We're not gonna tolerate it because we see directly what the intention is. Money. I see money coming. I see them coming. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Okay, coming up, it's 9:26. Coming up at 9:30, I have a little treat for you guys. Desnarine Hanley, Miss St. Kitts Nevis, is going to be joining us because she's going to be taking off for Antigua. You know, Antigua Carnival happens this month, and they're having the Miss Hainsmith, not Miss Hainsmith, what am I saying? The JC's. The JC's pageant. You guys know why. If you were listening from the beginning, you know why I said Hainsmith. So yeah, she is going to be, and she's also competing in the Miss Caribbean Culture Queen pageant on Monday, August 5th in Nevis. So she's gonna have another chance to wear, well, two chances to earn crowns. So yeah, she's gonna be joining me at 9:30. In the meantime, let's take this call. Caller, go right ahead. Caller, you're on.
It's me. I just want to. That was my second point. In Dominica, the university out of St. Augustine have notified Dominica about the volcanic earthquake happening. You heard that?
Say that again.
The earthquake watch thing in Trinidad at the St. Augustine campus
Yeah.
have notified Dominica of earthquake happening. They didn't say which one of the volcanic, but they're looking at it.
Okay. So they're predicting earthquakes now?
Yes, but yeah, Dominica just said volcanic.
Okay.
So check it out. Let us pray for our countries, eh?
Okay. I mean, yeah. Well, maybe that was
you can check it out.
Yeah, that was.
Notify them, you know.
Yeah, that was probably a flip.
An eruption.
Yeah, that was probably a flip comment on my part, because I do know that the technology is getting better as far as obviously you're not gonna know the exact time that we're gonna have an earthquake, but I know the technology is getting better to the point where they can say, okay, we might have an earthquake within 3 months, so that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna take a look at that, Miss Henry. Thanks for the heads up. 9:28. I can take a couple more calls before we join the beautiful Desnarine Hanley, Miss St. Kitts Nevis. All right, so call me 466-0989, 662-0989. Gotta say, Miss St. Kitts, she has a busy schedule for the summer, because JC's in Antigua, and there's the Miss Caribbean Culture Queen pageant that's on Monday, August 5th. I'm going to be asking her when the JC show is, because it doesn't say. But I know that's been a fixture for Antigua Carnival for years. So, okay. So I might as well go to the break. It's 9:29. I've got Miss St. Kitts Nevis, Desnarine Henry coming up on the other side. Okay, let me squeeze in this call. Come on, you guys need to be a little better with your time management. Go ahead. Let me take the call before I go to the break.
Yes, Jam says.
Yeah, and please be brief. Go ahead.
No, Miss Henry.
You guys be calling during commercial breaks. I don't understand. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. Miss Henry has been saying the politicians them should not flaunt the wealth. Well, I beg to differ. I think they should flaunt the wealth to the fullest so that we could see what's going on. So that people could see what's going on. Because I've heard someone said, and it was relating to the United States, but I believe it is correct for St. Kitts, Nevis, and for every country in the world. And the person said, if somebody got in politics and they ain't got this load of money, they hardly got money or whatever, and in the end you see them come rich, it's corruption. So, yes, I think they should flaunt the wealth always in the face of the people, so the people could really be informed and see what's really going on. So I would encourage them to flaunt the wealth. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I think.
So yeah, politicians just buy all the expensive cars and watches and shoes, so we can keep tabs on you guys. I'm all for that. Hey, where'd you get that Rolex? Anyway, I digress. Let's go to the break.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Feel the magic happening. Campari. Taste.
Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
.34 and Antigua continues, and as promised, I've got the beautiful Miss St. Kitts Nevis, Desnarine Hanley, on deck. Good morning. What's up?
Grand Rising Radio Nation.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so how's the rain going this far?
The rain has been absolutely amazing this far.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so it's been what? 7 months? 8
Yes,
months?
7 months.
Okay. So what did you do? Let's say, what did you do right after? Let's say, what did you do the next day after you won?
The next day.
You remember?
I probably slept all day.
You slept all day.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's then the next, I guess, the next round of business would have been
And
like
then
the
in
parade,
night,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had the Calypso show.
Calypso show. Oh, so you had to do the crowning and
Yes,
everything. Yeah.
we had the Calypso show.
Cool. Yeah, I think I saw that on TV. Oh, was I there? Where was I? I don't even remember if I went or not. I actually can't remember. And then what was the first official duty? Let's say in the new year.
In the new year, I did something for International Women's Day.
Yeah, I heard about that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
did hear about that.
Yes.
Okay.
I went to all the women that impacted my life, and I also went to the Washington Archibald High School to just show some support to the ladies that were going in for the show.
Oh yeah, that pageant that we had.
Yes.
Yeah, which I actually thought was kind of refreshing because we haven't had any of those in a long time because of COVID and so so that was kind of refreshing when I was like, oh okay, we have the kind of community / school pageants coming back.
Yes, it was amazing.
Okay, and I noticed your bio says that you're actually kind of you kind of into cosmetology and stuff. So did you kind of help out in that respect?
No, I didn't help out in that area. I didn't. But I've started a new business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
To being a nail tech.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, because I have a fetish with phalanges. Phalanges are fingers and toes.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yes. I love to see beautiful fingers and beautiful toes, and if I can enhance that beauty, then why not?
Okay, cool. So that business is going well?
Yes.
Okay. Don't you think you have an unfair advantage?
How is that so?
I'm getting my nails done by Miss St. Kitts Nevis.
Oh, well, you know. I am who I am.
And you can probably charge a little more too, right?
Well, I'm very reasonable with my prices.
Okay. So that's good. I noticed you're interested in acting as well?
Yes.
Any let's say progress with getting that off the ground?
Well, being in pageantry helped me to shape that.
Yes, absolutely.
So you guys gonna definitely see some acting with both shows.
So you try to, I guess you try to do things on your own, obviously,
Yes,
because, you know, I know pickings are slim around here for those kinds of pursuits, so to speak. So, so who are some of your favorite? Yeah, this is a question I want to know. Who are some of your favorite actors? Give me like 2 or 3 actors and then 2 or 3 actresses.
Okay.
People you just like to see do their thing.
Some of my favorite actresses are Taraji P. Henson, Kelly Rowland, and
I haven't seen her in anything. What was she in?
She just came out with, what's the movie called?
Yeah, I know she's. Yeah,
on
I did
Netflix.
see that on Twitter that she was in a movie, but because I know it was. Oh yeah, right. Because it was around that time with that controversy in France with the usher.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some of my male actors are Terrence Howard, and I must say, 50 Cent. You know, he have the powerful power.
Okay, power. Yeah, I like the pun. Powerful. Yeah, I like that. So you're into power book and all that. And,
yes.
And okay. Okay. Taraji P. Henson. I'm not mad. You're on point. Okay. So yeah, you did give me some mayors. And what about director? You into directors? You're not really pay attention to that stuff, right?
Not really.
Okay. All right. So you have. Unlike some people who get to kick back during the summer, you have to go and do these two big pageants, especially the one in Antigua.
Yes.
So, how are the preparations going?
The preparations has been going very well, very, very well.
Okay.
I am super proud of myself. I've been witnessing my weaknesses and my strengths, and I've been working on my weaknesses and both strengths as well. So, it's been so far so good, you know. During these times, we have emotional roller coasters, but diamonds are created under pressure. So,
There you go. There
yes.
you go. I like the fact that you embrace and accept that there are weaknesses.
Yes.
Yes. Some people like to act like, oh, I'm perfect, you know.
No.
So when is the Miss JC show? What's the date?
It is the 31st of July.
31st of July.
Yes.
So that's it's roughly 2 weeks and some change. Yeah.
Yes. Very soon.
And then right after that, you have to get prepared for the Miss Caribbean Culture Pageant.
That's a week after.
A week after. Okay. So tell me a little. I guess you're not going to tell us what you're going to be doing.
Oh no, you have to come to the show.
You ever been to Antigua before?
No.
No. Okay. So
it's going to be an experience.
This will be your first time.
Yeah.
But I noticed. It says that you're involved with the NC. You live in St. Kitts or
Yes,
Nevis?
I live in St. Kitts.
But you're involved with the Nevis cultural development. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I've created a drama club while in college.
Oh.
And because of that,
so you're doing stuff on the drama tip then?
Yeah. Because of that, when they had an audition, I went. And I was the only one that was very confident. Everyone was a bit scared and shy. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, I can't go up there being nervous. So I went, I did my thing, and they loved me. They loved me. So after that, the lady introduced me to the drama club, and that's where I started.
So you guys do exercises like that they do at those acting workshops and so I've seen stuff like that, and I find it very interesting. So you get to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you might have one up on your competition in Antigua.
Well, my only competition is myself. So
I like that. Nice attitude. And so that's the Poinciana Drama Club.
Yes.
Okay. But so how does that? Tell me about the Nevis Cultural Development Foundation. Is that something that they set up, or
yes?
The Poinciana Drama Club.
No. There are two different drama clubs.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Poinciana Drama Club is in St. Kitts, and the Nevis Drama Club is in.
And you do stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So right now they're not functioning right now, but we're on a journey of getting that back.
Okay. So So August 5th is the big show.
Yes. That's in Nevis.
It's in Nevis. So are you going to use the same? Are you going to? I mean, I guess. I mean,
Well,
okay. If you win, I guess maybe you will. But what's your initial plan? Are you looking at it like, well, okay, is it a plan? Is it like, okay, if I do really well in Antigua, maybe I'll use that in Nevis, or I guess it depends on how well you do. Yeah,
it depends, and I'll tweak each segment based on how well I do in Antigua.
But then there's the obvious issue of let's say, I mean, these are two regional pageants.
Yes.
So there's the obvious issue of maybe having some of the same contestants.
Yes. Some of the same contestants will be vying for both shows.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
so how are you going to deal with that?
Well, as I say, I have to beat myself.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then again, you could also argue that if someone might say, let me push myself and do something completely different. And then afterwards, if it doesn't go so well, you might say, maybe I should have just stuck to what I did. I mean, maybe I'm doing too much, you know?
Yes. My team and I have a steady plan. So we know how to go and execute for both shows.
In case you're just joining us, it's 9:43. Desnarine Hanley, she's our reigning Miss St. Kitts Nevis. Okay, so I want to give you the last few minutes for you to promote your business and tell us what it is that's going to be so compelling that's going to make people want to go to the airport and go to Antigua. I mean, we do have a lot of people that go over for Carnival and for the JC show. So sell yourself for
hello, everyone. My name is Desnarine Hanley, your reigning Miss St. Kitts and Nevis. I'll be vying for the Queen position in Antigua on the 31st of July and the Caribbean Cultural Pageant on the 5th of August in Nevis. Come on out in your numbers. Come to support. It's all love. It's all positivity. See you there, guys.
And I'm going to wish you the best of luck. And you're gonna have a hectic next 2 weeks, but I'm sure you can handle it.
Well,
all right.
I can handle
and the
anything
business.
life throws at me.
The business, people want it. Yeah.
Yes. So my business name is Imperial Healing. Imperial Healing. Follow me on Instagram at Imperial Healing and come get all your healing services done by the Queen.
Imperial Healing, that's a handle for Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Desnarine Hanley, Your Majesty, I'm honored.
Thank you.
And I want to wish you the best of luck for both pageants.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Okay. Have a great day.
One thing I want to leave with the audience is that positivity creates elevation. Now we rise. Thank you.
Well said. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Desnarine Hanley, folks, Miss St. Kitts Nevis. It's 9:45. I'm gonna be. You guys can bring me your calls. I know some of you wanted to call back, so you can call me right after this.
Found the sound 98.9.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put a Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. He are a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum a for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
14 minutes on till 10, and I just spoke to the very captivating Miss St. Kitts Nevis, Desnarine Hanley. She's going to be going off to Antigua for the Miss JC's pageant, and then she has, that's on the 31st of July. It's part of Antigua Carnival, and then she has the Nevis Culturama Miss Caribbean Culture Queen pageant. So we're gonna definitely be rooting for her. All right. Okay, so we got I'm on my alone, but not I'm alone, but not really alone. So you guys can give me a call. There were a couple things I wanted to talk about in the meantime. I remember there were some things I stored last night, thinking maybe I want to reference some of these as far as discussion. We were talking about lawyers and politicians and all this stuff this morning. Caller, go right ahead.
Jamstop.
Hey.
When you look at what's going on in Africa, where politicians buying chopper, and we don't hear that serious problem with security around the borders, and they're buying chopper and making fools out of poor people, flying over the counties in chopper, showing you how wealthy they be for public funds. When they look at the news, where buy that know what they're going to do? Using public funds and saying none for you, give you, none for you, give you, playing politics. These things happen, themselves. And these things gone to the nether level. And I could want them people thinking to the nether level too, Because people are going to suffer, sir. Invest trust in them, put them in power, and they're suffering people like this. It ain't going to work here. It's not going to work here. Have a good day, Jamster. You hosting voices?
No. It's going to be Socrates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep it going. Hear people when a lot of it. Jamster, I walked through Irish tongue and New tongue, Carty Alley. When I went to Carty Alley, people up there, boy, something wrong, something happening. Something nasty going to happen. One young man tell me he do all manner of things to keep out Timothy. And up to now the representative in one, when he called his phone and answered him. And look at George Street. You got to Newton George Street, a place I walk from a little boy. The journey is so bad. And poor people, but hey, I saw this story with these young thieving politicians, and then I'm upset thinking, them things gone in back to them, warn them, Where you boy, you will.
Okay. Yeah, so he's clearly passionate about this. All right. So okay. So we have a remaining moments. 11 minutes until 10. Kortensia and of course AZ will be here tomorrow. So you guys don't worry, they'll be here. So if you want to call me in the remaining moments, you can give me a call. Yeah. So Miss Henry referenced a story. Yeah, this is volcanic earthquakes recorded beneath northern Dominica. The UB Seismic Research Center has confirmed that a burst of volcanic earthquakes was recorded beneath northern Dominica early this morning. In a statement, that I think that would have been yesterday, though. Yeah, that was yesterday because this story is saying 23 hours ago. A burst of volcanic earthquakes was recorded beneath northern Dominica, and it says so far 345 earthquakes have been recorded in the sequence, and as of 7:30 a.m., that was yesterday, the rate of events has decreased. The SRC, that's the Seismic Research Center, notes some of these events were sufficiently large to be felt, but were smaller than magnitude 3.5, which is below the threshold for posting for the SRC's social media platforms. The Seismic Research Center says it is continuing to monitor the activity and provide the Office of Disaster Management in Dominica with regular updates. So, I do not know if this is something that we need to worry about, or I remember we were having a whole bunch of earthquakes that were being reported earlier in the year, and I was kind of concerned. And someone I mentioned it to said, well, these happen all the time. It's just that they're being reported more. So let's hope that's true. Then you have the Antigua PM. He condemned the attempted assassination of former U.S. president. I've seen some official condemnation of that incident on Saturday by lots of regional governments. So that's good. It's left to be seen if the Democratic Party is gonna let up their attacks on Mr. Trump. In light of what happened on Saturday, I don't really think it should make a difference, because just because someone tried to kill you doesn't mean that you're no longer a bad guy, right? At least that's the way I'm seeing it. There was a story which I thought was interesting. This was something I actually earmarked last night to bring to you guys. This hasn't been announced yet, but apparently Mr. Biden is considering, he's seriously considering proposals for Supreme Court term limits and an ethics code for the Supreme Court. And which is interesting, because I remember thinking, I've thought it for within the last few months and within the last few weeks and even the last few years. I'm like, why can't the Congress do something about the kind of just we have a situation where you have the Supreme Court that just seems to do as it likes, and I mean like a seriously activist court that just seems to do as it likes. And I feel, and that branch of the government, the Congress, they're the ones that are supposed to legislate, and the court is supposed to interpret, not legislate, because basically these guys have started legislating from the bench, because the worst president ever actually got to appoint two. Is it 2 or 3? Let me see. Gorsuch, 3. Man, the worst possible. Imagine the worst person ever. The worst person possible gets to appoint three judges to the court. So the story goes on to say, Biden, who was a former head of the Senate Judiciary Committee, who has long resisted calls to reform the High Court, as in adding seats, he's now saying that he's been getting increasingly vocal about his belief that the court is abandoning mainstream constitutional interpretation, and some of the things he's looking at would require congressional approval, which would be unlikely in a divided Congress. But Republican nominee Donald Trump bragging about putting the 3 justices on the High Court who are now part of the conservative majority. Biden's call for major changes could help animate his voters, which I agree with. He's already spoken about codifying choice, the whole idea of whether a woman can have total agency over her body, deciding whether she wants to have a baby or not. He's been thinking about doing that. They've been thinking about, he also mentioned, let me see, constitutional amendments to, where is it? I read this last night, and I read about the constitutional amendment. I'm just trying to remember what it was about. Let's see. Yes, so I really think that he needs to roll out some of this stuff, because this is the kind of stuff that can energize his voters, and especially when he's now embattled and having to deal with concerns about his mental health and so on. Okay, I just had 2 callers coming in here. Okay, guys, if you want to bring the calls. You got like 4 minutes. I was trying to look for this bit here where he talked about the constitutional amendment that he wanted to consider doing. So about 2 in 3 Americans say they favor term limits or a mandatory retirement age for the Supreme Court justices. And according to a June survey on the court, confidence remains low. 4 in 10 U.S. adults say they have hardly any confidence in the people running the Supreme Court. Wow. And 7 in 10 Americans think the High Court's justices are more influenced by ideology, while only about 3 in 10 U.S. adults think the justices are more likely to provide an independent check on other branches of government by being fair and impartial. Let me take this call. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes. Johnson?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Trump choice in choosing Supreme Court judges, they did something that was very good. They got rid of Roe versus Wade. In other words, they put a dent, a big dent, in this free abortion thing. This unrestricted abortion thing. They put some restrictions on it, which was not as bad as how it was before. Because this abortion thing is the murdering of human beings, is the shedding of innocent blood, which the Bible condemns over and over again because it pollutes the land. And so this is something that, like I said, is not as bad as what was before, and it is because of Trump's choice of lawyers to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has been making a lot of immoral decisions, that man could marry man and that sort of stuff, which the Democratic Party celebrates. You know, it's like the Democratic Party that celebrates the sins of that the Bible points out, and that's not good. Not that the Republicans them are much better either.
But you know, it's surprising to me. It's surprising. I've always been surprised that the Republicans would countenance same-sex marriage, but they don't countenance pro-choice. It's interesting because, I mean, look at what happened when they went crazy with the pro-life thing, and look at what happened during the midterm. But I'm surprised that that never really happened. Well, okay, they didn't really have the power to stop it at the time because Obama is the one who, and that's one of the things I'll always hold against Obama. But like, my thing is, you can't throw out the baby with the bathwater, right? I mean, you have because in trying to be pragmatic, you can't throw out the baby with the. If you want to get things done, you can't throw it. You just have to hold your nose and do certain things. And I get what you're saying. I totally don't agree with, and who would have thought that that Republicans would have gone along with that kind of stuff? But anyway,
Yeah. Republicans are inconsistent, but at least Trump nominees helped to put to put some restrictions on abortion, because it was unrestricted basically.
I mean,
and that helped pull back this. Well, I don't know if it helped, because it went to the states, and there are states that said, hey, amend the Constitution to make it unrestricted in the states. That has happened as well, and that is because in large failure of the pro-life movement to realize that, hey, the federal victory was not enough. They needed to also concentrate on the states where the Democrat went and fought the battles, and because of that, and the Republican failed to go to the state level.
Okay, I have to. Oh, I just found the bit I was looking for. Biden is also this is the constitutional amendment part I was looking for. Biden is also considering calling for a constitutional amendment that would eliminate the broad immunity for presidents granted by the court in its most recent term, after Donald Trump claimed he was immune from prosecution for his actions on January 6, 2021, when a mob of his supporters violently descended on the U.S. Capitol. So it's going to be interesting to see. So this is why, and this is now why he's going to have to make the point to a lot of people that you're going to have to.
But
you're going to have to
news are coming out right now about Biden making a lot of money off of corruption, at least $50 million at least.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but like I said,
it's coming out right now.
A lot of times you have to hold your nose and vote,
I don't think so, Trevor. Let us not back evil. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you something that can surprise you.
But Greg, it's 10:01. I have to 10:02 now, so I got to shut it down. We can continue this tomorrow.
No problem.
All right? All right. Have a great day. Okay, folks, that's going to do it for Island Tea. We're going to have Kortensia and AZ back tomorrow, of course. So join us tomorrow and have a great day. Don't forget, keep listening to us. Socrates comes in at 11 for Voices.